Hi, welcome back to SouFLoTV. You never been here before, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Another immigration update video. Listen, this for all my Jamaican people or Caribbean people in the state of Florida who are having issues with your immigration status. Those who you think not too straight. You know what I talk about. Yeah, it kind of looks shaky. So you have to dip and dodge and run and hide, or you're at least trying to wait out the process or straighten it out somehow. Them have a thing that they're building right now called Alligator Alcatraz. And you have to listen to this video because the state of Florida and their governor Ron DeSantis and Department of Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem, they have gone into dark matter mode. They have gone into darkness. Okay, that's the mode they're in right now. They're not feeling immigrants who they think are illegal, and they are finding ways to break your spirit to make it so that this is not the place you want to be. Quiet as kept, a lot of immigrants, or migrants rather, have left the state of Florida to go live in other states where, you know, at least if them catch you, you go into a building that have other people in it in the middle of a city or a town or somewhere like that, but not out in the middle of the Everglades in Florida. Florida is known for harsh environment for illegals because their governor works closely with President Trump, and their governor have sworn that they will make sure that this is not the place you want to be. If you remember correctly, this is one of the governor, along with Abbott out of Texas, who requested for buses to ship migrants to other cities. It was because of Florida and Texas why New York was flooded with migrants, right? Because Florida said pack them on a bus and send their asses up the road because they're not staying here. Well, under Trump, they have way more power. And now that they are about to unleash ICE in South Florida and Florida, period, they haven't unleashed them yet. They've been doing soft raids here and there, right? They have not unleashed them yet. They just ruled that the Haitians will lose their TPS. There's a huge Haitian community in the state of Florida, particularly in South Florida. 500,000 Haitians will become illegal immigrants. They've issued warning for these 500,000 Haitians to hurry up and self-deport. If they don't self-deport by a certain date set, ICE will be kicking doors, looking in. Well, I don't know if they're kicking doors, but they're catching people slipping either way. I don't think they have the authority to kick doors, but they'll lay wait you, and you're going to have to come out at some time, right? So President Donald Trump is actually headed to Florida today for the official opening of an immigration detention camp that is in the middle of the Everglades, and it is surrounded by alligators. That is why they call it Alligator Alcatraz. If you don't know anything about the Everglades in Florida, just go do some Googling research, please. All right, this is where the snakes are big as hell, pythons, and the alligators are fat as hell, and they live out there in them Everglades. So, we have the President of the United States coming down to tout that Florida has done. DeSantis said on Monday in a news conference to the Miami Herald, I think by tomorrow it will be open for business. He's talking about today. He's talking about July 1st. It will be open for business. They put this facility up in a record time. I'm here thinking they're building it and it will be finished sometime down the road. No, it done already. It done already and is looking to open for business. So again, my Jamaican brethren them, Alligator Alcatraz, if you get caught here, they're sending you to out in the middle of the Everglades, bro. So DeSantis authorized the construction of an illegal immigrant detention center on a 30 square mile property all the way out in the Everglades in the swamplands in Miami-Dade County under an emergency order. The property is actually a former airport that has been outfitted with sturdy tent structures to house 5,000 illegal immigrants amid the Trump administration's deportation blitz to remove the millions of illegal migrants who flooded the nation during the Biden administration. Remember, I know those who came in under Biden, the ones they're trying to kick out now, they have legal status to be here. 500,000 Venezuelans, 500,000 Haitians. Okay, Venezuela and Haiti were in turmoil, and the U.S. reached out and said, give me some of your citizens, I'll help out. You're neighboring, you're friendly, etc. Under legal grounds. Trump said, every one of them is considered illegal to me and should never have been let into the country. And as soon as I am elected, out they go. And that is exactly what he's doing. So now the Venezuelans' TPS has been taken away, temporary protective status. That is why every time you turn on your TV, every time you look on social media, you see it seems like it's only Hispanics that are getting grabbed up by ICE agents out in these streets and dragged off to deportation. It is because they are mostly Venezuelans and their TPS has expired. The Haitians are about to start going through the same thing. So keep an eye open because you will be seeing a lot of black people next. Haitians, Jamaicans, they will be all wrapped up in this sweep that they're calling a blitz. So the detention center now, it earned its name due to its location because it's located out in the heart of the Everglades, which is actually home to massive reptiles such as alligators and python snakes. This is not a joke thing. It's not one or two alligators and pythons out there. This is their home. This is the Everglades. It is infested. This is an airport that's already there. DeSantis said that during an event with the media, he said, this is an airport that's already there. We didn't build anything new. We just went and put up some tents out there, some heavy duty tents that could house up to 5,000 people. Clearly, from a security perspective, he said, if someone escapes, you know that there are a lot of alligators that you're going to have to contend with. No one's going anywhere once you do that. It's as safe and as secure as can be. In other words, they don't have to spend money on security. Once they drive you in and drop you off out there, you're not looking to escape because it's not roads. They only have one road that leads out there. And if you're trying to evade capture, you're going to have to go through the swamp. You're going to have to go through the swamp that sometimes is up to like chest deep, neck deep, with alligators and snakes in that water, right? So the White House press secretary now, Caroline Leavitt, confirmed Trump's trip on Monday, that he'll be arriving in Florida on Tuesday to check out the spot. She said that it's efficient and it's low cost, and that's a way to carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history. Of course, they all work for Trump and all of them are bigging up the boss. So anything he wants, he gets. Tomorrow, which is today, President Trump will travel to the great state of Florida to attend the opening of a new illegal alien detention center located in Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport, alongside Secretary Kristi Noem, Governor Ron DeSantis, Congressman Byron Donalds, and other state and local leaders. Leavitt said Monday during the White House press briefing. So it's officially open in, friend. If you're missing some of your brethren, then probably they're Alligator Alcatraz, if them never straight with the paperwork. The facilities is in the heart of the Everglades, and it will be informally known as Alligator Alcatraz. There is only one road leading in, and the only way out is on that same one road or a one-way flight. Meaning, anybody they put there, the only way you're leaving there is on a flight. The flight will go to wherever they're deporting you to, straight from there. It's an airport. She continued, it is isolated and is surrounded by dangerous wildlife and an unforgiving terrain. The facility will have up to 5,000 beds to house, process, and deport criminal illegal aliens. This is an efficient and low-cost way to help to carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history. I ain't gonna lie. They had a video up yesterday where they were grabbing people inside of a courthouse, because ICE now stays in the hallways of these courthouses, and as soon as somebody's case is dismissed, them grab them right away, right? People are showing up for their mandatory immigration meetings and they're getting grabbed. And there was a young man there who got grabbed up, and he happened to be a Jamaican. How do I know he's a Jamaican? Because they asked him, where are you from? What country are you from? And he said, none of your business. Then him said, yo, take the camera out of my face, dog. Right? So I know it was a Jamaican. And it was sad to see, because people like him will be going to Alligator Alcatraz. So, you know, environmentalists and Democrats, or even people who now are not Democrats, people who are just people who consider themselves to be humane, are looking at this now like, damn, this isn't what I really voted for. You know, to send people out into the middle of the Everglades to live in tents. Let me tell you something, right? If they're out there in those tents and there is not efficient AC out there, it's going to be hotter than Satan body hole out there. Another thing is, the mosquitoes out there, the mosquitoes are as big as a drone. Okay? It might lift up and deport some of them people out there by themselves. So they not only have to worry about the snakes and the alligators, they also have to worry about all the other stuff that's out there. Plus them big ass mosquitoes. And you know mosquitoes carry illnesses, diseases, right? Okay, so people are saying, damn, this ain't right. So people are protesting. They're lining up along Highway 41, which runs through the Everglades, to protest its construction. Protesters are holding up their signs. They're declaring another stupid plan to abuse people and to abuse the Everglades. No Alligator Alcatraz. Or they have signs that are demanding that ICE is pushed out of Florida. The photos have shown. So various federal and state agencies, such as the Department of Homeland Security and Florida Division of Emergency Management, they were actually additionally hit with a lawsuit on Friday that is spearheaded by an environmentalist group that claims that the detention facility will disrupt and threaten the Everglades ecosystem. Well, Trump don't really care about all that. And you know, I said to my audience before, I said, whatever y'all think is impossible and he has to go through a long line of people to get it done, consider it done. Because every step of the way that he has to go for approval, they have already put people in those places who are Republicans, who side with his agenda. They're just waiting for the paperwork to come across their table. They are his official rubber stamp. That is why you keep seeing all these lawyers filing these different motions and lawsuits. Don't you notice the courts keep on ruling in his favor? Even after they ruled against him, they come back and rule in his favor, because this is the agenda that has been set in motion. Nothing is going to stop this. It has to happen. So the state of Florida is all in on President Trump's mission, DeSantis said. There needs to be a more ability to intake, to process, and to deport. And this is one of them. The Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, also endorsed this detention center. Of course she does. She said this is the ideal facility for some of the worst scumbags who illegally entered the U.S. under the Biden administration. That's messed up. This is the ideal facility for some of the worst scumbags. I want y'all to know that majority of the people that they're grabbing are people who came legally. Their TPS has just expired, and now they're being referred to as scumbags who entered illegally. Are there people out there who entered illegally? Of course, but majority of these people did not. That's why these people are going to their meetings, their mandatory meetings. The people who entered the country illegally, they're not showing up to get grabbed. They're still hiding, and they've made up their minds to hide somewhere in the U.S., continue to work illegally because people will hire them, and to wait out the Trump administration. It's the people who are trying to do the right thing who are getting grabbed up at their mandatory appointments and are getting deported and are getting referred to as scumbags. Alligator Alcatraz and other facilities like it will give us the capability to lock up some of the worst scumbags who ever entered this country under the previous administration, and I will continue to stand alongside our officers as they protect and defend our homeland, she said. Wow. Listen, some of the comments will tell you everything. A lot of people, those who are supporters of Trump's movement, they're not changing their minds, no matter how bad things get. One person says, yo, the land was developed already. There's no threat to the environment. It is secured, as it should be, and most of all, the facility will give due process to illegal immigrants. And another person replied and said, yeah, but the Democrats feel that they're losing like 5,000 future votes. The actions by environmental groups proved that they are political. I really, really think DeSantis is a great leader, a patriot, and an adorable and honorable man. And I wish all governors in America would think just like him. Another person says, kudos to Florida. This is very inventive, repurposing of that asset, the airport, and using it and its natural barriers, surrounded by the deep woods and swamp and alligators and snakes. Don't have to hire security teams. Anybody who goes out in there most likely won't make it. Every time I read an article about this, it just makes me smile. Another person said, snowflakes. Another person said, I love the meme with the alligators with the ice cap on top of their heads. It just cracks me up. And another person said, just add some surveillance cameras outside of the fences and stream it on pay-per-view. And somebody else says, yes, like the Hunger Games. Wow. So I'm wondering where those 12 million votes were lost for the Democrats between 2020 and 2024 election. Any ideas? They were never there. Democrats did an excellent job at cheating in 2020, then thought that they could back off in 2024, but it backfired. And now they will cheat even harder in 2028. It's coming. You'll see. Can I say this? The people who you find making these comments, right? These are people who are as delusional as they come. So, don't expect any sympathy from any of these people who are backing this Alligator Alcatraz thing. First of all, it's too late to say anything about it. You can't do nothing about it. It's up. It's ready to be opened. And like I said, if you miss your brethren them, because, you know, ice pick him up. If he is in South Florida, then he will be out in Alligator Alcatraz, because that's what they built it for. Good luck. Good luck. I can't do nothing else but make you aware. And shout out to the Jamaicans who voted for this. Yeah. Elections have consequences. And I remember during the election, I said to some people, you know, you're going to vote against your people's best interest. And some of you are in the country legally, but you came here by somebody who came here illegally first and ended up straightening out themselves and then getting you to come to the country by sponsoring you next. So there's a thing called pay it forward. You don't bite the hand that feed you. You don't slam the door shut behind you after you go through. You kind of put a foot in the door and draw in two more people. Our people don't function on that principle, right? So they voted and they called in to the show and they were very, very much loud-spoken about their support for this administration, which this is the United States of America, and you can vote for whoever you choose to vote for. I was just pointing out that this is going to trickle down and backfire back to your people. A lot of them could not see it. Well, here it is, okay? Here it is. Enjoy, because now is the time to watch your people get what you voted for. And don't be the kind to beat around the bush. Just know that you did this, okay? I'll catch y'all in the next video. It's SouFLoTV. Hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.